Hello, I'm Lara Kulcharsan and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. Australia's social media ban for under 16s comes into effect on Wednesday. The government says the restrictions are aimed at giving children a chance to be children and to protect them from dangerous online content. The ban extends to Threads, TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Snapchat. Companies that fail to take the necessary steps to prevent young users from accessing their platforms will face fines of up to $33 million. The law aims to tackle cyberbullying, peer pressure, and grooming by predators. There is also evidence that uncontrolled online content was contributing to mental illness, anxiety, and suicide. But young people who have grown up with devices and apps disagree. Two 15-year-olds from New South Wales are taking legal action, while others say the ban is extreme.
Two 15-year-olds, Noah Jones from Sydney's Sutherland Shire and Macy Nayland from the New South Wales Hunter Valley, are the teenage plaintiffs behind the challenge, which has been filed by the Digital Freedom Project campaign group. The case will argue that the law, which increases the minimum age to hold an account on social media from 13 to 16 years old, trespasses on teenagers' constitutional rights to freedom of political communication. Members of the Digital Freedom Project said that the issue should concern every Australian. They believe the ban is disproportionate and will trespass either directly or indirectly upon the rights of every Australian. The group filed a roughly 20-page writ of summons with the High Court outlining its arguments against the law. Noah Jones expressed disappointment in what he calls a lazy government that blanket bans under 16s rather than investing in programs to help kids be safe on social media.
You're taking away the way that we communicate with our friends, the way that we feel connected to the world. You're taking away our creative outlet, something that makes us happy. And here you are celebrating it. What on earth goes through your mind to say we are ripping children away from something that they love? Let's celebrate.
Blah blah blah, social media ban is good, blah blah blah, the whole world will be happy after the 10th of December. You are wrong. Why are people from the last generation telling us how to live our generation? You don't know what it's like to be a kid in the big 25. Like, I'm sorry, you just don't know. And the behaviour that I am seeing from some of these adults is diabolical. Why, instead of spending all of this money to try get rid of social media, why don't we use all this money to make social media a safe place to nurture and grow the next generation?
Several European countries are also considering social media restrictions of their own. In Turkey, First Lady Emine Erdoğan says parents have to ensure children are safe in the digital space.
The rapidly changing conditions of the digital world have made the protection of our children an urgent and unavoidable responsibility. With children facing cyberbullying, digital addiction, and many other risks online, the conscious guidance of adults has become crucial. In this regard, I was pleased to sign the Digital World Child Rights Convention. Other countries are also introducing legal regulations for social media. There is increasing global awareness on this issue. Our priority has always been to develop policies that place the best interests of our children at the center and ensure that their rights are protected across all platforms.
With rapid advances in internet and the platforms it hosts, there are growing calls for more universal safety features. Sara was at the TRT International Children's Media Summit in Istanbul and spoke to experts on how to navigate the complex landscape.
There used to be places on the internet made just for children. Nowadays, the kid internet is blending into the grown-up one. That means children are navigating platforms that weren't really built with them in mind.
You know, it's kind of like a child today can just go wander around in a really scary place. If it was like physical, it'd be like dangerous things all over, like poisonous snakes or, you know, bad things. And that's why it's so important for parents to step up and really keep an eye on what's going on.
The platforms are really developed in a way that feed off engagement and kind of capturing attention. That's having some negative effect on some kids. There needs to be pressure, there needs to be policy, and there needs to be research to better understand and inform them of the effects of their platforms. My experience is that many of them may not fully understand human development. They're looking at factors that affect their company, their bottom line, their shareholders, all real-world concerns, but they're concerns that aren't privileged. They're too privileged and not privileging enough those of the rights of children and their development.
Children in Gaza who have lived through 2 years of war are now slipping on virtual reality headsets, not to play games, but to help them recover. The VR program is designed to support their mental health, letting traumatized kids escape, even briefly, into calming environments far from destruction. Therapists running the sessions say the digital detour is helping children stabilize faster than traditional methods. According to UNICEF, every single child in the Gaza Strip now requires mental health and psychosocial support.
People in Gaza don't only think about food and drink, they think about how to innovate and keep up with the world. Despite our very limited resources and all the difficult circumstances of war, destruction, displacement, and everything we are going through, we are still able today to provide this simple service to our children who have experienced severe trauma through innovative games, or let's say innovative therapeutic techniques using virtual reality.
We feel comfortable in it, we enjoy it, and through it we enter a garden, we enter spaces with animals and similar experiences. It's nice.
US President Donald Trump has said Netflix's plan to buy Warner Bros. Discovery's film studio and HBO streaming networks could be a problem. The $72 billion deal will reshape Hollywood overnight. On Friday, the two companies confirmed they had struck an agreement bringing mega franchises like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, and Game of Thrones under Netflix's roof, essentially creating a new media superpower. But the deal isn't done yet. It still needs a green light from competition regulators, and it's already shaking the industry. The Writers Guild of America calls for the merger to be blocked, saying the biggest streamer swallowing one of its biggest rivals is exactly what antitrust laws are meant to stop.
Look at all the IPs that Netflix will now potentially have in their library. DC, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Powerpuff Girls, The Monsterverse, Lord of the Rings, Matrix, Rick and Morty. I do have to state, this deal is not finalized yet, all right? They are in exclusive talks. The US Department of Justice could interfere at any time to be like, yeah, no, this ain't it. Or maybe just their negotiations between Warner Bros. Discovery and Netflix will fall through.
They have a very big market share. And when they have Warner Brothers, you know, that share goes up a lot. So I don't know, that's going to be for some economists to tell. And also, and I'll be involved in that decision too.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing.
All of these reincarnations, all of those name changes are attached to really bad deeds.
Meanwhile, Netflix is refusing to pull its new docuseries called Sean Combs' The Reckoning, despite a legal challenge from the music mogul. His team argues the 4-part series uses stolen footage, including decades of personal recordings Combs had made for his own feature documentary. Diddy's camp also claims Netflix handed creative control to his longtime rival, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, as a form of corporate revenge, turning the project into a hit piece. Netflix flatly denies accusations, but the internet is not convinced.
Just imagine hiring an entire camera crew to allegedly try to rebuild this facade of being a good person, all because you're about to be put on trial for crimes that will put you away for a long time. And months after getting arrested, one of your biggest ops got a hold of those tapes. And what they do with it is make an expose documentary. Oh, and baby, they exposed him.
Because Diddy is so hated by 50 Cent that apparently a decade ago, 50 Cent just started gathering information on Diddy, as much as he could find. And he started working on a documentary series on how bad Diddy is. a documentary. He did interviews. He hates this man so much.
In a lot of the other documentaries about Diddy, I walked away being like, this guy is terrifying. But in this, 50 Cent was like, no. He is a talentless loser. Not only does he get multiple people say that Diddy is completely talentless and just rides off the backs of others, but he also went super deep into his jealous behavior. So not only did he get all these people to say all these pathetic qualities that he has as a person, but he also made the soundtrack of the documentary his enemy's music.
All of this is unfolding while Combs is serving a 4-year-long prison sentence. He was convicted this summer on 2 counts of providing transportation to people engaging in prostitution, but acquitted of the more serious trafficking and racketeering charges. He is appealing and has even reached out to White House for a pardon. Diddy is still facing around 70 civil lawsuits involving allegations of drugging and assault. Combs denies all those claims. Croatian police say a nun who claimed she had been stabbed by a Muslim migrant had actually brought the knife herself and used it to inflict the injury on herself. But before the investigation wrapped up, the story rapidly spread online, fueling anti-Muslim and xenophobic sentiments. It's another example of how easily hate spreads on the internet.
How sad is this? A poor Catholic nun in Croatia has been by an illegal immigrant.
Witnesses are saying the attacker, who was reported to be a migrant, shouted the words Allahu Akbar. And for those who don't know, it means in Arabic, my God is greater, or God is greater.
Because this woman served Christ and served God, the true God, the one true God, and the other person didn't. And the other person's religion, or his text, basically tells them to go out and take these kind of people out. This is not a religion of peace.
Except none of that is actually true. But you wouldn't know it by looking at social media. So what really happened is a Catholic nun, 35-year-old, claimed that the knife wound was the result of a hate-based religious attack by a Muslim extremist. However, determined that, in fact, she went and purchased the knife and then stabbed herself, called the police, and then blamed it on a Muslim to stoke up anti-Muslim bigotry and hatred in Croatia and around the world. You'd expect better from a Catholic nun, somebody who dedicates their entire life to God.
Pantone has just announced its 2026 Color of the Year, and the internet is not happy. The Global Color Authority has chosen a shade of white named Cloud Dancer. Pantone has been introducing a Color of the Year for nearly 3 decades, saying it helps engage the design community and color enthusiasts around the world in a conversation around color.
This is Pantone's Color of the Year for 2026, Cloud Dancer. And you don't have to adjust the color on your screen because there is none. It's a very creamy, very muted sort of white tone. In fact, it is the first time since they started doing this in 1999 that they selected a color that was within that white color family. And when I tell you that these Color of the Years actually do play out in your life, like all you have to do is look at their own website and see some of the collaborations that they have planned for 2026. Post-it, the company known for making brightly colored pieces of paper that we all know and love. They've got a line of neutrals coming out next year based on Pantone's Color of the Year. So a lot of creatives, especially creatives of color right now, are a little bit upset because they think that selecting Cloud Dancer as Color of the Year is a hint at, let's just call it cloud nationalism. It proves that they knew what they were doing. By their own words, Pantone selects the Color of the Year based on what's been trending and happening both in color and design and entertainment and pop culture and sports and media all throughout the year, all around the world. So in selecting Cloud Dancer as Color of the Year for 2026, people are essentially saying that this hints at cloud supremacy. So like I said, there's a lot of creatives right now, especially creatives of color, who are trying to decipher if this is a dog whistle, if this is a signal, what Pantone was really trying to portray with this color selection.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.